Hello and welcome back to the Milan Save on Football Manager 2023. Now, since the last episode where we were unfortunately knocked out of the Champions League at the group stage, we have played a whole host of games in both the league and cups. So, without any further ado, let's run through all of those. Incidentally, we are going to be playing the Europa League knockout playoff round, first and second legs in this episode against PSV, so we've got that to look forward to. But since the last episode, we played our final league game before the World Cup break, which, if you're interested, you can watch Football Manager's prediction of the World Cup up here. Should be lingering around somewhere up there. But we drew 1-1 with Lecce in that final game, so a bit of a disappointing result. Rebic giving us the lead, and then Federico Basciarotto getting an equaliser for them. Played a couple of friendlies when the World Cup was over. Beat Altok 4-0, lost 2-0 to Juve. Then we returned to league action, beating Sampdoria away from home by 2-0 thanks to a brace from Olivier Giroud. But in the next match, not only did we lose 2-1 to Atalanta despite taking an early lead through Alexis Salamakers, but Olivier Giroud picked up an injury which would keep him out for 2 weeks, meaning he would miss all of these games here. Maybe not that last one. Did he miss the last one? I think he missed the last one against Empoli as well. Yeah, so Giroud was injured for these 4 games. And Zlatan was also injured at the same time. So it was time for that man, Divock Origi, to step up. And he certainly didn't do that. We lost in the third round of the Italian Cup to Sassuolo. Origi getting a 6.3. We did, however, beat Salernitana by 3-0. Sandro Tonali, Ishmael Benessa and Charles de Ketelaere grabbing the goals for us in that one. Torino were sent down. Torino? Salernitana. The badge kind of looks a bit like Torino's badge, I guess. Sort of, not really. Where's Torino's badge? There's Torino's badge. It's got some sort of animal on it. I guess that's a similar thing. But yeah, they were down to 10 men. We managed to win 3-0. We then had the Supercoppa final against Inter. Charles de Ketelaere grabbing a very late winner in that one. Divock Origi again, not performing well. 6.5. It's a pattern of Divock's. He's still not scored for us. And then he played in a 1-1 draw against Empoli, where one of our new signings, who I will show you in a little bit, Samuele Vignato, got a goal for us. We then had Olivier Giroud back to full fitness for the game against Roma. He didn't get on the score sheet. Ketelaere, Hernandez and Rebic did get on the score sheet, and Rick Korsdorp was sent off for Roma. We then beat Bologna 4-0, beat Juve 1-0, drew 0-0 with Fiorentina, and beat Napoli by 4-1. So the league table currently looks like this. We are top of the league, 4 points clear at the top, and it's looking pretty decent in terms of our domestic form, if you ignore the being knocked out of the Italian Cup. Now, before we get into the transfers, you may notice the skin looks a bit different on the game now. I've downloaded Zealand's skin simply because it gives you so much more information on a player's profile. As you can see here, you can see literally everything that you need to see on a player in one place. So it's very useful. There'll be a link to the skin in the description down below if you want to use it for your game. But it is, like I said, very useful. But the first transfer that we made, I think I've told you about him already, but obviously we sold Calabria to Liverpool after our transfer window closed. So right back has been an issue for us. So Wilfred Singo was signed for £20 million. Originally signed to be our first choice right back. However, when we signed him, he was injured. He had was it a groin strain? Yes, he had a groin strain, which was keeping him out of action for 4 weeks. So we went out and signed someone else. And the man that we signed was Alessandro Zanoli for £3.9 million from Napoli, a right back, obviously, because he was coming in to fill that position, but a young right back as well, fulfilling our under 23 rule for the first team that the board have put in place. He's 22 years old, and he's been decent. He's been very decent. He's been better than decent, in fact. He's played 6 games in Serie A for us, and he's got an average rating of 7.03. He's actually doing a pretty good job of keeping Wilfred Singo, the £20 million man, out of the team. And the other man that I signed that I wasn't expecting to get as much first-team football as he has been doing is Samuele Vignato. Now, where did I sign him from? I've forgotten. We signed him from Monza. How much for? £8 million. I'll ask the questions and answer the questions all myself. £8 million from Monza. The young attacking midfielder. He looks like he could be a bit of a superstar in the future if we play our cards right. He's got an average rating of 7.28 already in Serie A for us. He's got 2 goals and an assist. He's definitely a good backup option to Charles de Ketelaere. I think de Ketelaere has been injured or suspended recently. He's injured. Yeah, he's injured at the moment. So that's why Vignato's had a bit more game time than he would normally get. Now, the January transfer window has obviously been and gone, and there was a lot of interest in a lot of our key players. Fikayo Tomori came to me. He was unhappy because I think Newcastle United were interested in him. I've raised his transfer value to I've basically got it to as high a level as he will agree to, which is £70 million. If I get £70 million offer, I'm probably going to accept that because we can reinvest that into the squad. But for the time being, I've made a promise to him that if we don't get Champions League football next season, he can leave. I'm pretty confident we should be getting Champions League football, barring some sort of absolute collapse that we don't foresee coming. Other players that had interest in them were Ishmael Benessa, Sandro Tonali, backup defensive midfielder Tommaso Pobega. That was a big issue. So Bayern Munich came in for him a few times, rejected all the offers. We weren't going to get a decent amount of money for him. It's decent for what he's worth, but it's not decent enough to reinvest back into the squad. So I rejected all those outright, and he's a bit unhappy with me. But the reason that we're on Alexis Salamaker's page is because he's been signed to a brand new contract. He was another man that was getting interest in him from elsewhere, so I thought I'd just spend the money, give him £96,000 a week and keep him at the club for another 4 years or so. So with all that admin out the way, it is time for the knockout playoff round first leg game at home against Dutch side PSV. Now, how are PSV doing in their league? Not great, they're 5th. PSV are 5th in the Eredivisie. They've drawn 4 of the last 5 games. What's going on with PSV? Hopefully that's not a sign that they're going to batter us in this game. So this is the lineup that we have got for this first leg game against PSV. We've got Mike Maignan in goal. Alessandro Zanoli, the new signing at right back, continues there after his good run of form recently. Matteo Gabbia alongside Fikayo Tomori in central defence. Theo Hernandez at left back, Ishmael Benessa and Sandro Tonali in defensive midfield with Alexis Salamakers at right wing, Rafael Leao at left wing, Junior Messias coming in at attacking centre midfield, Charles de Ketelaere is injured, Brahim Diaz also I think injured at the moment, which is why he's not there. Yes, Brahim Diaz out for another 2 to 5 weeks with a torn abdominal muscle, so a bit lacking in attacking centre midfield area, but I guess Junior Messias can do a job there. He's not being played there for us yet. This is the first time that we've done that, so we'll see how he gets on. We've got Olivier Giroud as the lone man up top. On the bench, we've got new signing Wilfred Singo, the right back. We've got our usual players in there. Zlatan is back to full fitness and no longer despises me for selling Calabria, so that's all good as well. His contract is up. It's coming up at the end of the season, and I tried to renew it, but he was wanting a wage rise, and he's 41 years old. I'm not giving him more money. He's on 32 grand a week, which is probably overpaying already. I know he's got 20s in lots of his mental attributes. He's still got a great first touch and finishing. His natural fitness is unbelievable, out of this world, in fact. A great strength and balance as well. But he's 41 years old. Surely that can't continue for forever. And I don't want to give him 50k a week. Like, he's on enough as it is. I was happy to sign him to a deal on 32k a week, but he didn't want to do that. So we'll try again a bit later in the season, but he might be heading off at the end of the season. But anyway, that's all out of the way. And you may notice a new button up here, Simulate Match. That's on the new skin as well. So if you do want to just simulate some matches, you can do that. I've not used it yet. I don't feel confident enough that my side will win if I do use it. So we'll submit the team there, and we'll hear the Europa League music for the first time. Well, the second time, because I think we got it in the draw as well, didn't we? It's not as good as the Champions League music, is it? It's catchy. I've just realised it's snowing. Okay, so there was actually an interview question in the tunnel where it said, are the conditions going to make things difficult today? And I guess this is the difficult conditions that they were talking about. To me, that ball stand looked a lot lower than it should be. That was like knee height. The referee had to bend over fully to get it. Okay, so first chance of the game. Zanoli with the throw-in. Gets the ball back from Tonali. Is it going to be a good start for us? It's very difficult to see the ball. Giroud's headed it, and he's got his 21st goal of the season. Olivier Giroud getting us off to the perfect start at home against a struggling Dutch PSV side. Free kick, Benessa to take it, whipped in towards the back post, towards Tonali. I think Gakpo headed that away, but it's going to come to left back Theo Hernandez. He's listed as our key player now, Theo Hernandez. I don't know if he was at the start of the game. As he plays the ball in, Giroud's there, and that's just over the bar. I think the defender got there to get a block in on it. Tonali to take the corner. Looking to probably get a ball to the back post of Giroud, I would imagine, which is exactly what he does. Giroud's there, it's headed away by De Jong, and Messias has got that. Can he get a ball into the box? He can't. He plays it back to Tomori instead. Now Tonali with the shot, and what a finish from Sandro Tonali. Doubles our lead, his 4th goal of the season, the original corner taker of that highlight, and that's a beautiful finish right along the ground into the bottom corner. 2-0 Milan. Tonali forward to Leao. Now Theo on the left-hand side. He's had a lot of involvement in this game so far, Theo Hernandez. Just butchered his name as well, but he's still got the ball. It's Theo Hernandez with the shot, and he's scored. What a finish, what a run. What a way to give us our 3rd goal of the game. Theo Hernandez, excellent stuff. A nice little roly-poly to just top it off as well. Yet another set piece. Benessa to take this one to the near post this time. It's Gabbia who just heads that over the bar. So half-time, and things are pretty comfortable here at the San Siro. 3-0 up, and we look like we could score 6 or more today. Tonali with a long ball forward towards Salamakers. Salamakers wins that in the air. Now it's Giroud. Back to Alexis Salamakers. He takes a shot. It's blocked. Messias is there. Messias with another chance, and Messias with an absolute thunderbolt of a volley there. Only his 2nd goal of the season, Junior Messias. Of course, he missed a lot of the start of the season with injury, and then we swapped him out for Salamakers at right wing, and Salamakers made that position his own. But Messias in today at attacking centre midfield and showing us what we've been missing there. Salamakers was the man who had the original shot, and then it fell to Messias, who looked like he was jumping for a header. When he landed, the ball landed beautifully, and he could just smash it into the back of the net with a left-footed volley. 4-0 Milan. Now, Ismail Benessa with the long through ball. It's Junior Messias off the post and in for Messias' 2nd goal of the game. It's 5-0 to Milan, and I think I should probably start taking players off to rest them. So we're going to make a few changes. We're going to take Benessa off. Pobega is going to come on for him. We are going to bring Divock Origi on for Olivier Giroud. We're going to try and get Origi a goal. He's lacking in confidence. He needs a goal. We're going to try and get that for him. Theo Hernandez can come off as well for Fode Ballatore. Zanoli can have a bit of a rest. Singo can make a rare appearance for us, the new signing. So rare, in fact, that I've not done his personalised instructions. So I'll have to do that as well. And we'll just make those 4 changes to start with. We've got 1 in backup just in case we need it. So throw in on the left. Toure to Tonali. Now Messias on the edge of the box. He's on a hat-trick, remember, but that's a bad touch from him, and Sangare hooks that clear. Headed away, though, by Tomori, and Messias has the ball at his feet once more. Gabbia, I think that was. It's really hard to see the ball. Plays it out wide to Salamakers. Max dispossessed. Origi's there. He should have scored. Leao with a shot. It's off Origi, and we've not scored somehow. Divock Origi getting in the way. Not what he's on the field to do. We put him on there to score a goal, not to stop a goal. We're going to make that final change now, and we're going to give Rafael Leao a bit of a rest. We are going to bring on Ante Rebic for him at left wing. Tonali on the ball down this left-hand side. Sandro Tonali. Can we get the ball to Divock to give him a goal, which is going to help his confidence so much? It's Pobega. Through ball to Fode Ballatore. Into the box. Origi is there. He doesn't win the header. It's headed away instead. And now Sealy can come away with it for PSV. Long ball from him down the right-hand side to Mwene. And PSV could be on for a consolation goal here to maybe keep them in the tie a little bit, I guess. It's 5-0 though. Surely we can't lose this lead in the second leg, as Veerman has the ball on the edge of the box. Veerman with a shot, and it's off the inside of the post and in from Joey Veerman for his 4th goal of the season. PSV have finally gotten on the score sheet with just over 5 minutes to go, but I'm not too concerned about the overall result. So there's the full-time whistle. It's a very convincing 5-1 win for us today. A bit disappointed that we conceded, but it's probably not going to have much of an impact on the second leg. So before we get into the second leg, we have played that league game that was in between the 2 legs away from home against Hellas Verona, and we did win. We won 1-0. Vignato on the score sheet once again. A narrow victory for us, but we still remain top of the league. So given the margin of difference that we've got in heading into this game, a 5-1 victory in the first leg, of course, I think we are going to do a slightly rotated side. So we are going to have A Milan in goal still. Singo's coming in at right back. We've got Kalulu and Tamori in central defence. Kalulu in for Gabia. Tamori was rested for the league game, so he's refreshed for this one. And I think it's all right for him to play in this one. Balotore at left back in place of Theo Hernandez. Tonali and Pabega are our 2 defensive midfielders today. Ishmael Benesa getting a bit of a rest. Salamakas at right wing. Messias in an attacking centre midfield in place of Vanato, who played the league game but obviously can't play in the Champions League, or the Europa League. Getting all my European competitions mixed up there because he's not registered. Divock Origi coming in for Rafa Leao at left wing. Really want Divock to get a goal. Come on, Divock, please just score a goal, Divock. And then Zlatan up front with Giroud getting a bit of a rest today. We should be home and dry, really, in this one. I don't want to proceed just yet because I need to do Singo's personalised instructions. So, for some reason, the Europa League music is still playing as we have our first highlight of the game. And Fulvio Balotore has found himself through on goal. It's Balotore, and it's cleared. Corner kick, Tonali to take it towards the back post. Looking for Zlatan. It's headed away by Mauro Jr. Now, Junior Messias has it on the right-hand side. Plays it inside to the centre-back Pierre Kalulu. Back to Messias. Messias to the back post. Origi's there! And Divock scored! Divock Origi on the score sheet. Finally, his second goal of the season. It's been months since he scored the first one. And Divock Origi has got a goal. Set piece for PSV this time. Max plays that in towards De Jong. He gets his head to it and it's cleared sort of off the line from the left-back Frode Balotore. Incidentally, we've had an offer in for him from, I think it was Al Hilal. Offered £1.4 million for Balotore. Not sold him. He's our backup left back. We don't have another alternative, don't think, in the squad. So if we're going to sell him, we'll sell him in the summer. Another set piece for PSV. Max to whip the ball in once more to the back post this time to El Ghazi. Veerman's there with a header. Maignan can't get his hand to it. And Joey Veerman has got his second goal of this tie, his 5th goal of the season. And PSV are level on the night. They just need another 4 goals to level this tie on aggregate. Kalulu on the ball, just on the halfway line. Plays that out wide right to Singo. He's on a yellow card. Might have to look to take him off. We'll keep an eye on how he's feeling during the game. But Tamori has the ball at the halfway line once more. Forward to Tonali. Now Ibrahimovic. Nice one-touch play from us. Through ball to Messias Jr. And Junior Messias. I got his name the wrong way round. But he's managed to get us back into the lead. And he just seems to like scoring at the moment. Didn't he score 2 in the first game? That's 3 goals in 2 games for Junior Messias. And it's 7-2 on aggregate. So Sandro Tonali is apparently 1 yellow card away from suspension. So we'll save him for this game that doesn't really have much importance. And we'll bring Bakayoko on for a rare appearance. Salamakas is in a similar position as well. So we're going to swap Messias with him. And then we'll take Salamakas off. And we'll bring on Rafa Leao because it seems to be that's the only option we've got to bring on. So there's the full-time whistle. It's a 2-1 victory, so not as big as our margin of victory at home, but still managed to win 7-2 on aggregate. So very pleased with that. And we'll be back in a second for the draw for the next round. Okay, so here we are. It is round of 16 draw time. There's a fan poll on the side there, which has got our preferred opponent according to our fans, and it would be Betis. Celtic on second on 35%, and then Arsenal on 21%. I'd quite like to just get an easy draw, to be quite honest with you. 16 teams in this draw. We'll start the draw. It's Steve Bruce hosting the ceremony. What is he doing there? What is Steve Bruce doing there? Okay, Lazio, a fellow Italian side, they are still in the competition. They've got Fenerbahce. Roma, another Italian side, will be playing against Rennes of Ligue 1. Dortmund, don't give us Dortmund. Dortmund against Betis, so that's our fans' favourite selection out of the window. Feyenoord, we've already faced one Dutch side and beaten them, but we're not facing another. Arsenal have got Feyenoord. Sporting Lisbon, I've got Rangers. Ajax, another Dutch side, but one that's doing a lot better than PSV, have got Real Sociedad. We have been drawn in the home side against Man United. Oh, how are Man United doing? We're going to have to check that. We'll advance to the end of the draw. So I don't know why I advanced. That was the last one to be picked anyway. Some interesting games there. No real big ones, I would say. But let's have a look at how Man United are doing in the league before we end today's video. Man United are 4th in the Premier League, but they are a hell of a way behind Man City, who are running away with the title a bit. They're 6 points clear at the top. But how have Man United done recently? I'm already on them. Let's have a look. Okay, so they've won the last 3 games, but against pretty easy opposition. It'll be interesting to see how they do against Chelsea. Obviously, we faced them twice in the Champions League group stage, so that could be a good marker of how good Man United are doing at the moment. But I'll go on to our fixtures, actually, before we look ahead to the next episode. So, looking ahead to then, we will be back for both legs of the Man United game. Off camera, we'll play the games against Spezia and Monza. But that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to get all more content when it comes out, hit the notification bell to stay notified, and I'll see you next time.